that team, but it's like I always took it as like this is my shit. You know, I ain't gonna hit you up for let you take off of work to come be in my video to do nothing when I could do the video myself.
Yeah.
Like it'd be a little shit like I don't expect this unless you want to get into it. Cause you know I wouldn't want somebody to put shit on me that I don't want to do.
Yeah.
Be like, yo, you trying to do Forex? Not really.
Yeah.
You feel me? It's like
yeah.
nah, like I'm good. And then so
you've been talking a lot about your music, and you mentioned Black Attire here and there. Are you more passionate about becoming an artist, or are you more passionate? I mean, we've also talked about the longevity that a clothing brand can make you. But what are you more passionate about?
Nah, definitely the music. I think it's just easier to be passionate about music because it's emotional. You know what I mean? It's like
you can be more dynamic with your art versus, you know, coming up like you said, and you don't want to make more graphics anymore. You kind of want to just have an idea, give it to somebody, and they can run with it.
Yeah, exactly. Because I'm cool with that. I don't feel like doing the groundwork. Whereas like music is just clothes can only be but so I can only have the best design for until the next shirt comes out, until the next, you know. I think people can love it. You know, I think people can hold on to it physically and have it and be like, yo, this is my favorite shirt. I like this. But ultimately, it's going to be another brand out there that, you know, make a better shirt. Another, you know, they just don't fuck with this brand for whatever reason no more. Like, shit just happens. Like, I remember as a kid, there was a brand called, like, Johnny Cupcakes that I fucked with. Just because nobody else like was wearing it. Like I was always into like that shit.
Yeah, people like being exclusive. Like I got this is different from everybody else. They don't want to keep riding that wave.
So like as a kid, I used to fuck with his shit because I'm like, it's dope. Nobody really knows about this in Philly. It's like I don't know how I discovered it, but I'm just like, yo, I like it. Then I bought enough because he's like a cupcake theme, right? Like all his shit was like cupcake and like he would make people fat and shit, from eating it. And then I realized I'm just like, yo, that's enough cupcake shit that I need on the shirt. Like, you know, it's like ultimately it's going to get to a point where one day, like, somebody might be like, look at all the brands, the hundreds, all of them, where they just like, I got enough Black Attire shit. I don't need no more. You know, you're going to have the loyals that stay, but ultimately it just changes. Whereas music, if I say the right thing or the right song that gets you, you're going to come back to it 20 years from now and be like, yo, this song is. So I think it's just easier to be more passionate about that. And even like I started with that too. And the clothes kind of came as just like after. But yeah, definitely more of the music.
And like I said, this podcast is about positivity. And I'm sure a lot of people are like, we're talking about music. What's the positive aspect of it? But I know, don't worry about it. It's real sensitive. I got to get that wire fixed. But I seen on your website for Black Attire, you know, right now everything is politically driven. Everything is, you know, Black Lives Matter. You guys are giving certain proceeds to or...
Yeah. So what I ended up doing, so pretty much because of the coronavirus, I couldn't even make clothes for like however many months. I think my shop that I'd be going to, I think at some point they just ended up being like, we're not technically open, but we just right before they like went into the phase where like things can open, a little bit before they were like, yo, we're not technically open, but like we could just do it. Because I had dropped off all this shit and like when that happened, March, and that shit just sat there. The day I was there, I done paid them and everything, right?
Oh man.
And I didn't pay cash, so I paid on my card. So 5 minutes later after I paid it, whatever, that's when that message came out that like, yo, Philadelphia closed, blah, 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 whatever. So my shit just sat. I couldn't do nothing, so I couldn't make new clothes. And I only had, like, I always be having extra larges, like, left and random from different collections. And so when all that shit broke out, you know, it's good to be on, like, both ends of it, you know, as far as doing the fight, because it's like I could be marching all day, but you know, it's still people that need help and people that did need like whatever. So you know, I'm always passionate about that. So I was out there too, you know what I mean? On the first day, shit was going crazy, and then I was like, you know what else I could do? I got all these extra clothes. I'm not making clothes anyway because everything shut down. So what I did was just people who bought it, I just took all the proceeds and sent them right to a few different groups. There was like a law group that be helping with I think it's called Amistad Law, and they really be, they're more like abolitionists, like prison abolitionists, and so they fight like that fight. And then I gave one to like Black Lives Matter Philly, Black Gives Back, because definitely the Black. Shout out to the Black too.
Shout out to Black. We've been doing every episode in this in the shop. So
yeah, and like they just they get shit done on a level that I know that's not just like even Black Lives Matter Philly. It's like I could give y'all bread, but I'm not watching. Yeah. I can only hope that y'all do, but so much. Whereas like with the Black, I think it's good because I could give money and then literally just see like, oh, this is going to however many meals, damn near over however many book bags they had this weekend. Like you can see it and be like, cool, I don't gotta worry about.
Yeah, where your money's going. One of the things that we talked about, I had Spark Life here a couple days ago, and they help recovering addicts get into stay clean, get into good housing and stuff like that. And I think one of the things that they were talking about was there's big name brand not business. I guess they are businesses, but organizations that take a lot of donations and get a lot of funding to put these people in houses. But the quality of care that they give them is just more like the bottom line is the dollar. It's not the it's not. Donors can donate to that organization, but all they're looking for is to make a profit. Versus Spark Life, where it's a smaller organization, although they're trying to grow. They genuinely care about the people, and you can see where your money's going, and you can get involved. I mean, same thing with the Block Is Back, and community organizations like that. So
yeah, and that's why when I did it, I had split it up to like different orgs. I'm like, like you could do, and I know Black Lives Matter is like the movement is like they probably got one everywhere, but I'm like, the reason why I wanted to give bread to them is because it's like if they're so big that like if the Block Is Back is like, yo, we're trying to protest, right? Only but so many people can really see it compared to Black Lives Matter.
For sure.
Philly. So I'm like, all right, hopefully they they do the good job of what they got to do. So they're
established already, so they got the they got the eyes,
and then give it to the Block because they really just right on the block with it. And then you had like the Amistad Law that they fight different prison laws and reforms and everything like they're trying to do, which is crazy because that's really because I got two brothers locked up right now, so it's like just hearing what they be saying, that's where like a lot of my fight, because it's like, damn, niggas trying to survive on the street, but then there's a whole prison industrial system that's just fucking taking money like 3-4 different ways before from me to him, like you know what I mean, and just doing horrible shit.
And those people work for pennies.
Exactly, and then
it's basically modern day slavery.
Oh no, it is. It definitely is. And then what's it called? And then the last one was like it was a youth center that like they help kids that were in placement like get back in Philly. I forget what that one's called right now. But like, cause that's another big thing, you don't want to.
You're doing your part. You're doing your part.
Yeah. So that was just the thing I could do, at least for me, with like money wise and bringing the brand into it too, and just fighting all that, cause like that's some of the biggest shit I be about,
Well, I think I've said this on every single episode. People only care when it directly affects them.
Yeah. And
what I love. I wouldn't say love, but what I can appreciate about all the protests that are going on, especially, when George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, and the countless amount of others. Yeah. People are, you hear people in the news or on certain platforms complaining like, yeah, but all the looting and all the rioting, like people are complaining about that. Yeah. But at the same time, it's like, yeah, but they got your attention. Yeah. I don't want to condone them looting because there's always going to be assholes who take advantage of a situation. Yeah.
And not. I'm with it. Like, fuck it, I condone it because it's like that was one of the things I was heavy on was like like I said, there's multiple fights that you like. Me personally, I ain't really like I vote, but like I don't put all my eggs in this. Like, no, we gotta get somebody new in there because it's like you could get somebody new in there, but that don't necessarily mean that they gonna be for you. Yeah. They don't, and even the same thing with like black business owners. That's cool if he for the people, but if you're not, what difference does that make?
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So it's like, but I was definitely with it because I think you just need to hit from all angles. So like when voting time comes, you know that shit only happens every so often. Yeah. So how's that going to change if it don't happen for 2 years or 4 years? Or
and a lot of people aren't even educated enough to make a solid vote because they just think
exactly. So it's like the way I see it is when that time comes, perfectly fine. But right now, was that in June? I think that was June.
Yeah.
Early June, like when what's voting going to do for us right now in June? And it's crazy because like the shirt I'm wearing now, like the Black Panther one, I had made it, but I was like, I don't want to put it out now because I don't want it to look
like pandering. That was one of the things I wanted to touch on is you know, you got all these people like for so long, the people who live in urban areas, people of color, are always like, yo, the Democrats are going to take care of us.
Yeah.
But then you got the Democrats, like one of the most powerful ladies in office right now, and I'm not trying to get too political, but she's taking a knee wearing a kente scarf, and they're doing all this pandering, but nothing's actually being done.
Nah, like that, and that's why I never understood, like, because I probably sound like way radical with some of the shit I be like saying and thinking, but it's like, yo, I don't give a fuck if you wearing kente, your whole shit, you kente'd up and taking knees, like I didn't understand when people was kneeing with the cops in solidarity. Like a knee is what killed the man.
Yeah.
And you sitting here kneeing with, like, I don't know, it should just be stupid to me. But that's one of the things with, like, at least politically, just a lot of it looks like they're just doing it for a purpose to show. Like, you know what I mean? It's
show
like,
face.
We don't give a, like, I'll say most of us, like, to some people, that shit probably do look like something's happening. But, like, to me, it just be bullshit. So, and then to bring it back to, even with, like, the looting and all that, it's like you said, that shit got the attention. That shit, you know what I mean? It's like, yo, we need to do things to show people that, like, we done. And the reason why I was holding this off to later, because I'm like, I'm not going to put it out right now because I don't want it to look like, oh, let me just cash in on the shit. You know, Black Panthers ain't nothing new.
Yeah,
right?
They've been around for a minute.
Yeah, and I know, you know what I mean? I'm researched on it, so I'm like, I'm not going to put it out now to make it look like, oh, you're just doing it. I'm like, you know what? Let me wait a little bit.
You don't want to ride the wave.
Right? Let me wait when niggas not posting black boxes and not doing whatever and not, like, just flooding the TL. I don't want it to look like that. So it's like, because my thing is like, yo, are you still with us when this not a trend?
Yeah.
Not when we're not trendy no more, just still doing it. And these about to come out this week, right? Excuse me. These about to come out this week. I just saw yesterday that the cops, I don't think they killed him, but they shot somebody like 7
times, in the back.
In the back, right?
With his kids in the car.
See, like, and I didn't even see the video. Yeah. I just saw like a news article on it, and I'm just like, damn, like, in the amount of time that we were just protesting for look what happened, and that's why that's why I can't fuck with people who are just backing, like, super back cops and do all of that, because I'm like, yo, you can't reform this. No amount of schooling and cop teaching or whatever they doing is going to change how they think, how they move, how they operate.
Yep.
It's like, you know what I mean? So it's like, yo, we just need to, you know, and like I said, until, I forget what it's called right now, but it's the one thing they have where...
Immunity.
Yeah, the qualified immunity where, it's good. Yeah, so like, so until they abolish like the qualified immunity,
for people who don't know what qualified immunity is, it's basically what protects cops and gives them the okay to shoot somebody because they can say it was for whatever reason. Basically, for the simplest of examples, when somebody shoots a cop,